Hello everyone, I'm not a cat, and today we're ranking all the Star Wars movies. This is gonna, with my one of my best friends, Julian. This is gonna be controversial, I think.
I think so, yeah.
I think so. All right, let's start. We'll just go in order of what's down here. First, Phantom Menace, overhated. I think the pod racing scene I loved. The CGI in the pod racing scene is top tier, better than anything the sequels have to offer.
I agree.
Okay, I think it's honestly a solid D tier.
You're saying overhated, I would put it at C. Maybe C.
Well, most people will put it below F. I think a lot of people. I think D is fair because it's not a great movie, but I think there are some parts of it that are quite good.
There are areas in the dialogue that are quite poor, and I say that as someone that wants to.
Well, with both, okay. Anyway, next we have Empire.
Automatic.
Favorite Star Wars movie. Favorite automatic S tier.
You and I both.
Best Star Wars movie by far. Only runner up. Well, we'll get to that. Okay. We have The Force Awakens. I recently rewatched it, and I didn't like it as much as I did the first time I did. Because weirdly enough, it felt a bit short. The story felt very, it felt shorter than it was, and I didn't like that because it didn't feel as epic as, some of the Star Wars movies. It really did feel... So I'd put it in C. I think it was better than The Phantom Menace because overall the dialogue was better. I think It is the best of the sequels, but I don't think it's a very good movie.
Okay. I can see where you're coming from.
This is your thing. It's in both of our tier lists. So choose.
Yeah, I personally... So, we're looking at... The thing is, any movie that has Rey in it is automatically D or lower for me. Usually.
That's true.
I would put it... Personally, I would put it in D.
That's fair. Here's... Okay,
because I want to be fair. I want to give credit where credit is due because there are some areas where it's good writing. There's some areas where there are decent CGI, but there are other moments where the CGI is terrible. There's other moments where the dialogue is terrible.
Right.
The thing is,
no, that makes sense.
Not necessarily a bad movie. As a mediocre movie, it is mediocre in its mediocrity.
Yeah, No, it is. I think Rey is tolerable in this movie. I'd say. And I would say Kylo Ren is a spotlight of this movie. I think they had such potential for his character. It was so cool. I think someone in an interview said that they wanted him to have the opposite path of Anakin and Darth Vader. So he'd be going from really insecure to the most faithful to the dark side. I wish they stuck with that because that would have made the sequels infinitely better. No, I see what you mean. I think it's on par. I think it's slightly better than The Phantom Menace. So we'll put it there.
Yes,
but
I will. Yeah.
Only tolerable sequels. Well, we have a special category just for this one: White Guilt, Luke Skywalker.
Exactly.
The worst piece of Star Wars media in existence. Cannot change my mind. It is. Ooh, I cried at the theater because of how terrible it was.
I did as well.
I don't view this movie as canon. In fact,
I was so disappointed.
I actually don't view any of the sequels as canon. I just don't. I think they're so bad, no.
Sadly, they are, but
I don't view them as canon, so I'll just do that. Okay, A New Hope. Incredible. Slightly worse than Empire, but The New Hope, it has this feeling. It's just a feel-good movie. It has this feeling. It's really fun. It's great. The start of the movie, of course, is a bit slow, but especially if you watch everything in order, A New Hope will feel actually a lot more complete just because of, Ben Kenobi talks about the Clone Wars and everything.
Yes.
I think that's fair. Okay. Oh, wait, was this not... Oh, I just realized. This is not The Phantom Menace. It is so small. This is Attack of the Clones. Okay, wait. This is The Phantom Menace. We're putting it here.
Yes.
My mistake. Attack of the Clones...
I didn't even catch that, honestly.
I didn't. The posters looked so similar, I forgot. Okay, Attack of the Clones... The ending scene was great. But then again, we have, I like sand! So, people clown a lot on the dialogue. I think, controversial opinion, I think Episode 1 was better than Attack of the Clones. And I'll tell you why. it was more of a complete story. Attack of the Clones was really slow. Like Episode 1 was slow, but Attack of the Clones, besides the ending, the dialogue was really cringy. Like it was.
I agreed on the dialogue.
Definitely. They had better like action and stuff like that, but it got ruined by the time when everyone talked. Besides Ewan McGregor, because it's Ewan McGregor. He's a legend. He's a legend, but he's
a legend no matter what. At this point,
I'd argue it's D and below a Phantom Menace. What about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair, because there were parts of the movie that was good, but it didn't feel as solid as a Phantom Menace. Okay, Return of the Jedi. I'm just gonna put these all in order, or not all in order, but I think right below A New Hope, and I'll say why. I loved Jedi, but not only did they stay on Endor for too long, I think knowing what it could have been, it puts this a bit lower for me. It's still a strong ending to the original trilogy and to to the prequels as well, because the prequels didn't really have an ending. It kind of left on a cliffhanger to move. So I liked it, especially the actual ending of, and call me crazy here, guys, but the actual ending for the George Lucas re-release. Everything else in the re-release was terrible except the ending, because they added scenes of other planets, and I feel like it felt the original felt like an ending to the original trilogy. The re-release felt like an ending to the entire kind of like Skywalker saga, not including the sequels.
I'm going to admit you know more about these movies than me.
I am a bit of a Star Wars nerd when watching the movies.
You are much more of a nerd. You are much more of a nerd.
I am a big Star Wars nerd. Star Wars and Star Trek.
The thing is, if we were working with Harry Potter or Marvel movies, I would be all over you. I'd be dominating this conversation.
Sure, but Harry Potter. I don't think you might not beat me in that.
Really?
I am a big Harry Potter fan.
I'm a massive Harry Potter fan.
I love Harry Potter.
We can test our knowledge later.
Yeah, absolutely. And anyway, okay, Rogue One. This is right behind Jedi. I love Rogue One. I think it's interesting for me. I think you could argue it's A tier. I argue it's one of the best Star Wars movies, and I'll say why. Because it's not only is it really well written, the actors are great, but watching it before A New Hope elevates A New Hope to a whole new extent.
I agree with you on that. But personally, I noticed a few areas in the writing that were a little iffy for me. Personally,
that's true.
There were a few moments where I was a little unsure about how well the writing was, because there were areas in the dialogue where it sounded really good, and there were areas where the dialogue was like it was nice, but it was a little confusing. And
that's true. There are also
certain areas of the movie a little convoluted for me personally, right. At the very least. I don't know about other people.
No, now that you mention it, there are some like plot conveniences, and you could argue that's like that with the original trilogy, but the original trilogy is such a classic. I feel like it works in its favor. We're gonna add a thing below A tier, really quick. Add a row below. Oh wait, why did hold on? I believe I messed this up. Hold on. Oopsies. Here. Let's change this to A plus, because I think this is where this goes.
Yes, I will agree with this.
I think it's A plus. Not quite original trilogy material, but it is solid. It is fantastic. Definitely the best of the newer Star Wars movies.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Okay, Sith. This goes above Jedi for me.
Interesting.
This is hard because here's the thing. There were some scenes where the dialogue was still pretty awful. I will admit, but the ending of the movie, like the last 30-40 minutes, were peak Star Wars, and I'd argue it had a better ending to the trilogy than Jedi.
Yes.
So I think I'm gonna put it.
Wholeheartedly agree with
the end of the movie carries it. Anakin and Obi-Wan's duel, legendary. I think that carries
It's a legendary film.
It is. Solo.
The fight is incredible.
Yeah.
I love
Solo.
that scene. So here's the difficulty for me.
I'd say it's C tier.
When I first watched it, I actually really liked it because when I first see movies, generally I'm not that critical of them. Mm-hmm. There will be moments where I will notice obvious things, or maybe some less obvious things, specifically when it comes to dialogue. But Solo, when I rewatched it on Disney Plus before I ended up getting rid of our subscription, I realized it was not as good as I thought it was. And originally I probably would have put it at A or B. And now I'm thinking it's either C or D. But in this case, it's not a D film for me. It's still fairly good. I put it at C.
Yeah, the reason I put it at C is because, I mean, of course you can't beat Harrison Ford, but I forgot who the actor is that played Solo, but he did a decent job of playing Han Solo. My biggest issue with this movie is that they made Han Solo's hero's journey before he had a hero's journey. Like, in the original trilogy, he really goes from, like, an outlaw and a scumbag to one of my favorite and one of the most likable characters.
A much more charismatic, a much more charming, much more, in a sense, positively masculine figure.
What this did is it started off the Solo like A New Hope, and then it changed into the Solo of Jedi. And what upset, and it was, he went on the hero's journey before the actual hero's journey, as well as he was a bit, in this movie he wasn't as ruthless as like Han Solo, and I feel like it kind of got confusing and it took away from his character in a way. As well as I'd argue that the Millennium Falcon redesign, I just didn't like it that much. I think they tried.
I agree with you on that. Yes.
But also the coloring. Now, in canon lore, it was because the ejection pod was in front of the Falcon, and so that's why it has like that little, that crevice in, because the ejection pod got shot out in the movie. But still, I just think it wasn't that great of a movie, but it's definitely better than the movies in D tier. Okay. Here we go. Last one.
This one's actually difficult.
This one's difficult. I'm going to put it in top D tier. Because...
Really?
Oh, never... Dude, my brain. Never mind. My brain, Jesus Christ. No, I'm going to put it in... Jar Jar, I think.
I fully agree with this. Yes.
Bro, I can't believe I always put it in D. I wasn't paying attention. I was like, oh, these were all the bad movies. All right, let's put it in D. Oh, wait, we have more rows below. Yeah, it's definitely better. It's definitely better than Episode 8. But Episode 9 was not only nonsensical, but then Poe Dameron just saying, somehow Palpatine returned. It was terrible. And
yeah, I don't understand why they wanted to have.
They should have had Darth Jar Jar be the Sith Lord that was behind it all. That would be incredible.
Misa, I'm behind it all.
Misa, I've been hiding the whole time. Well, I think the thing is that not only was Palpatine's return nonsensical, but I think it made Darth Vader's sacrifice so much less meaningful, knowing that he returns. As well as, actually, I'll add another comment before we're done here. I'm ranking all of these on the non-re-releases. The re-releases would most likely go lower of the original trilogy, because also I feel like Darth Vader's silent redemption at the end of Jedi is perfect. If we did the Jedi re-release, I'd put it in A+, just because, and all of the movies may be an A+, just because it's not terrible, but there were good changes, and there were a lot of bad ones. He meddled with the movies too much, in my opinion. Anyway, I think we have a solid list here. What do you think?
I agree.
I think this is a good list. All right, well, thank you guys for watching. This has been a
short tier list video,
yes.
but it's been fun.
It's been a lot of fun, yeah. And let me know if you want to see more videos like this. Anyway, catch you guys next time.